to apply for a Black Stars job.
But that was not even your question. Your question was,
is he the right man for the job?
Yeah. So that's why nobody has a problem.
Yeah.
If he applies for the Black Stars.
But Eugene has a problem.
Because Eugene has also a very good, like he is coming from a very good place. And he says that if you look at Mr. Kwasi Appiah, he's probably a very fantastic gentleman.
Yeah, fine gentleman.
Yeah, but then the data suggests that he's an alpha coach. That he's not good enough as a coach.
Alpha?
Yeah, he's not good enough as a coach.
Hey.
Yeah, in his second stint, he had about 45.45% win percentage, which is not good enough. 22 games, he won 10, drew 8 of them, lost 4 of them. Not good enough. Yes, he's a trailblazer in Ghana football where he qualified us to the World Cup for the first time as a Ghanaian.
Yeah.
But what did he have to show after that? And you guys have made mention of, and rightly so, political expediency. That's why he came back. I also think that when we went to the World Cup in 2014, the debacle over there, and while he was head of the playing body, people in government at the time, people who came back later felt that maybe the misgivings of the Black Stars and Ghana at the World Cup wasn't directly at the doorstep of Kwasi Appiah.
Yeah.
So if you talk about how we carried some
$3
amount
million
of money to Brazil and all of that, I mean, Kwasi Appiah couldn't have influenced that.
Sure.
The technical team, the management team probably did things that were wrong that he as a coach couldn't have done anything about. So he's in charge of our performance on the field. Maybe all of these things did affect our performance on the field. So he was given a second chance. So I will cut him some slack when it comes to Brazil. But when I give a coach my mandate for him to do a job as a Black Stars coach, then I look at why is it that you get back and already we are about 5 points or so behind Egypt, and it gets even bad in those qualification rounds in trying to qualify for Russia 2018. The only game that we played very well was that Congo-Brazzaville game where we thumped them. After that, we were not good enough. You made mention to the AFCON 2019 in Egypt. In that AFCON, I
Tunisia
think
kicked us out.
Yes, it was just three teams in our group. I think Sierra Leone also pulled out. So we were in there with Kenya also. Then in a round of 16, we met Tunisia and they kicked us out. But Steve, the football was nothing to write home about. Kwasi Appiah's win percentage is not good enough. And I think that for me, if you look at where we are as a football nation, I mean, let me throw away that football nation term. Where we are as a nation with our football, then Kwasi Appiah is not the man to take us forward. Why do I see this? We have moved from the days of when we had a lot of Ghanaian-born players in our team. Now we are transitioning from young boys who have Ghanaian lineages, born in Europe, who have had to go through academy processes. They understand the game to a certain level. Now, Mr. Kwasi Appiah has gone out of job, sat home literally, unless maybe he has done a lot more that I do not know about, haven't really got into any football job since he left. In fact, if Kwasi Appiah goes to that interview and I'm there, I'll ask him, since you left in 2019,
what have you been doing? What
have you done? I mean, do you have anything to show? How many games have you won since 2019? Has your win percentage increased elsewhere? Have you done any good thing? And remember that after he left, there were some calls for he going to Sudan and some other countries in Africa, but that didn't see the light of day. So he is not the right man for the job because his win percentage and things like that were not good in his second spell. And also, since he led the Black Stars, there's nothing evident of a proper progress from what we saw the last time under Kwasi Appiah. And my issue with this whole government thing, I personally do not think that our football will ever be 100% autonomous. I don't think so. And I think that really, if we want proper development in our football, there should be a policy direction. And I would want, maybe if Eugene joins again, we can talk about that. I think that there should be a proper policy direction with respect to our football.
From whose end? The
From
government?
the government's end. And it should be binding. Whichever government comes in, that should be binding. Yes, the government should...
Who should enforce those policies? The GFA or the government?
Oh, no, it should be binding. So, I don't know.
All parties involved, all stakeholders.
Yes, so maybe there should be an LI, a legal instrument or something from Parliament that makes it binding. So that even if government A goes out and government B comes, we need to go to that line.
Okay.
And I think it should start even from our juvenile football. Steve, the kind of coaches who should go ahead to train these boys to become the next Thomas Day parties and the likes. We should have something like that to go into that. The last time you and I were having a conversation about these astroturfs and how most of them are not even standardized pitch sizes.
Exactly, yeah.
What binds these people who are seemingly political actors trying to
score political
points with these things? What binds them to do the right thing?
There are times they even construct these astroturf without the experts involved.
Exactly.
So the Ghana Football Association perhaps is not even aware of most of these astroturfs in this country.
Now it should grow to the top level. What kind of coaches do we want for our national team? What should be the criteria? What should they have done? Like, should we subject them to some form of test with respect to recent coaching methodology? We should know all of these things. And I've seen the lineup of Steve Cooper, Hector Cooper, Steve McLaren. I don't think these
Chris
guys.
Hughton.
I mean, apart from Chris Hughton, I don't even think Steve McLaren and Hector Cooper are the men to take us forward. Yes, there's a talk of experience, but really, the game keeps on evolving.
Yeah.
What do we want? Do we just want experience?
Yes.
I do not
experience
think
inclusive, but I think we have a generation of players who need, as it were.
Yes, I think
that reform, that revolved mentality to as it were get them there.
I think that if we have somebody cast in the age brackets of Otuado, young, exuberant enough, who also understands the trend of the football game, and then get what he wants to get on, then we can go far. I mean, the talk of interference and what have you from the GFA, they know. The ministry knows. For me also, I think one of our biggest issues in our football is the seeming politicking between the FA and the ministry. They know this as well. I mean, when they come out there and they are nice photo ops and they come to take nice pictures and all of that, but when they go back inside, when the new coach comes in, whether Kwasi Appiah, whether Fiifi Manfred, whether Steve Zando, when they get into the job, who really are they reporting to? Are they reporting to the FA? Are they reporting to the minister? Who are they reporting to? All of these things need to be sorted out.
Okay.
But for me, Kwasi Appiah, I mean, he should not even think about it. I'm sorry.
So you were surprised when you heard the news?
Yes,
that he has applied for the job.
I saw the video where he was seated in his car and he said, "I'm Ghanaian." I'm like, boss,
this will be Ghanaian matter.
Just because you are Ghanaian. Oh, please.
Okay, Andy, let's try and pick about 5 calls before we move